Good morning, family. Oh my. So many of you know I wear all sorts of hats, and this one is my daddy's. I woke up today really thinking about him. I think about him still every day, and he's buried in the Punch Bowl in Hawaii. So I don't get to visit him, but I visit him in spirit deeply, and I know he visits me in spirit. And I'm so grateful for that, and especially right now. And I'm wearing his hat because um, I'm a granddaughter, fifth generation great granddaughter of one of the founders of this country. My papa was in World War II. There's just so many different things that I think about with respect to what the military families are going through right now. And because I have personally experienced it, which many of you have who may be watching this, you know what this does to us. And then when we sit back and we have to look at the news or what have you in terms of why our loved ones over there in the first place, it just makes it really challenging, especially when we're also dealing with our babies, right? Coming into consciousness of people absolutely being beyond demonic, right? Regarding eating them or doing other acts that are not anywhere near what those of us who love the Lord, Allah, Buddha, whatever your higher source power may be, that's not what this vibration is all about in any way, shape, or form. We have consistently acknowledged beautiful, unconditional love, a pioneering spirit, a founding spirit, one that's innovative and willing to create bridges. Of course, we know over the last 250 years, the atrocities are, you can't even put them in words. That again was a demonic spirit. We have to call that what it was. That was a demonic spirit, right? And we, at the same time, as we evolved through that energy, got to a point where we were like, okay, we may be able to live with each other. We may be able to figure this out. We may be able to be humble and realize that having people be in such abusive positioning as humans, that may not be what we want for them. And so we're going to stop and pause and say, wait, there's something that is not okay with that. So we're going to abolish this. And then we got to the abolitionist movement. And we started to go through this other structuring of what society is going to look like. How can we evolve in learning to live with that, something that we may fear, something that we may not like? How are we learning to live with that energy, right? And then we started seeing people intermarry, and we opened up schools to each other. We started to kind of alchemicalize, right? That hate and that feeling helplessness into something that allowed for our American society to start to be a little bit more amenable, right? Flexible. And now we're here. We're here and we're looking at the fact that the young people that we're reading about and that we are hearing as adults, right? Those beautiful, precious, God delivering children were so harmed, and in ways that our brain, frankly, we're not used to bending in even hearing or accepting anything like that. Yet and still, a lot of us are processing through it. A lot of us are being triggered from things that might have happened to us when we were younger. There's so much happening right now in the ethos that it is time for us to take a little bit of a breather and pause and just inhale, exhale, begin to start connecting with each other in ways maybe we've not been vulnerable before, but this actually gives us an open moment to be vulnerable and to sit with each other and say, hey, you mind if you can come over? You know, no phones, no nothing, but do you mind just coming over to the house or coming over to the church or coming over to the synagogue or coming over to the mosque or coming over wherever and just sitting down, and I'll cook something up. But we're going to ask sort of the cards of humanity types of question, right? We're going to ask, hey, how are you feeling about this? How are you feeling about that? What are you doing with respect to your job and the economy? Are you feeling vulnerable? How does that make you feel, right? How does that touch you in any particular way? And is there anything that we might be able to source out together to figure this out? And then also, by the way, we don't know what's going to potentially happen to this country or to wherever we visit or this and that. Would you mind if we began to share some skills with each other, right? Be able to be a little bit more open of how I can help you, how can I assist you? If you do lose your job, how much is the rent, right? Could we pull together in this sort of social trusted network that we're building, and could we figure something out together? Like, how can we do this? And if you're open to that, amazing, right? Could just be 4 people, could grow. And it could be this moment where we're starting to build social trust again, right? And because we have to. Back in the day, guys, the fire departments would, and some still may do it now because I haven't looked, but some would actually go and identify what exactly what are the skills of this particular block? What are the skills of that neighbor near the pond? You know, like it was an inventory of skills. And that's essentially what I've been working on for the last decade. And I'll get to that story in a second. But what I think is really important is for us to start to build these social trusted networks, right? An opportunity for me to connect either my sorority or my university alumni or my neighborhood, HOA, whatever that might be. Begin to start to take inventory, right? Begin to start to open up more intimate type of conversations around how are you feeling? What's this? How's this affecting you? How's the economy affecting you, right? How's the housing ups and downs and volatility affecting you? Let's start to build human gatherings, right? An opportunity for humans to gather. Right now, and I want you guys to think of it like this. You have people looking at screens. You have people comparing themselves to others consistently and constantly. We are getting blue light in our eyeballs this whole time. We are stagnant. We're sitting. We're predictable. You know exactly where we are. You know exactly what we're consuming. All of these things are now happening, and we're just going for it. We're like addicted to it. It is something that we are actually addicted to. Many of you who do know me know that, yes, I have a gift, and I'm probably announcing it for the first time publicly, but I'm very connected to spirit. I'm very connected to spirit. The other thing that's coming to me is I am very connected with the love of our country, the patriotism of our country. And as a result, we are celebrating this year, the 250th anniversary. And what's hard for some people to be okay with is, right, the atrocities. What Spirit has really given me and just excitement around is the opportunity that we get to build a new League of Founders for the next 250 years. Lest we ever forget anything that happened right in the past, because we won't. It is not what we're called to do. And the next 250, guys, is filled with utter love, compassion, productivity, collaboration, abundance for all. Like abundance, like abundance. And it is so good. Yes, we're going to have to buckle up, but that's why I'm here in this moment. We're going to buckle up, but we can also have fun doing it. When we focus on love, because where energy flows, everything grows. So we are being called for such a time as this to build the next 50 League of Founders. And so this is an exciting day because we get to launch this on Human. For the last 10 years, I've been building a platform focused for this moment. I call it the Human Arc. And as an entrepreneur myself, oh my gosh, I raised $1.3 million. I was, my gosh, on fire for like so freaking excited. Like this was the moment because 3 things happened in society. You had Venmo, peer-to-peer payment system. Love, shout out to Ikram, one of our investors. You had this wonderful moment of the sharing economy. People were open to sharing their home and their car, and yet the sharing economy growing leaps and bounds. And then the third thing that happened is this thing called Satoshi that created this peer-to-peer open ledger system that could verify things and you couldn't break it. So there was a lot of trust and verification. 10 years, a decade had to go by before us as humans would even be open to fully, potentially, a little bit, understand what this was. Somehow, Spirit, a decade ago, said to me, it's time for you to start a social capital bank. And with the help of my dear sister, who is also very much in tune with Spirit, Natalie Byrne, it was one of those moments that I had to just put my head down. And no matter what, I was being obedient to what I was being called to do. And I said yes. And so now, this moment, we have an opportunity, and this is what's so exciting, to start to build the next 250 years. Our platform is so ready for this moment. And even though we're growing and we're putting together councils of people who can really help make this something that we can all benefit from, this is our time to shine, guys. This is our time to say yes to what and how we want to define what America is all about. You all know I did run on the 2020 ticket, on the independent ticket. I am so proud that I said yes to that moment. And for me in this moment, I'm saying yes all over again to leading this movement so that we can take the reign, okay, on what America's principles are all about. And that's in our founders, guys. Lest we forget, either we like it or we don't, all that energy, but we do have founders that pioneered a new structure. We now get to perfect that even more. So my prayer is that you say yes and you'll join us in this moment. There's going to be several ways that you can sign this form, but go to humn.world/cross 250, because we are crossing this together.